Hello everyone, welcome to the Practicality channel. My name is Adrian and today we're going to check some of the most important commands for a systems administrator. Let's go with the video. In this video, we are going to test around 60 commands that are essential for any systems administrator. However, I am preparing more contents to show you commands for specific technologies. 12 more videos will be published in the following weeks showing Active Directory administration, like AD replication, domain trusts, FSMO roles, LDAPs, AD accounts as management for users, groups, MSA accounts, authentication to check Kerberos tickets, GitHubs, SPNs, for networking with NEC diagnosis, tracing, share folders, VPNs, PKI to create requests, issue certificates, do some CRL validation, check TLS cipher suites, DFSR for replication, backlog, diagnose, GPOs, updating policies, getting reports, checking GPO properties, Windows time, checking source, configuration, stratum, monitor time gaps, WinRM enable HTTP and HTTPS listeners, test them, running remote commands. For event logs, enable or disable the logs, filter events, export information. For hybrid Active Directory plus Microsoft Entra ID, we have some commands for Microsoft Entra Connect synchronization, ADFS, Windows Hello for Business. And finally, we have for scheduled tasks and jobs, how to create them, run, or modify. But now we start with these 60 essential commands. First, I assume that you know how to use the most common ones like cd for changing folder, copy to copy files, move to move files or folders, ren to rename files, dir to show the folders and files that are inside our current folder, mkdir to create a folder, rxcopy to copy files and even files that are inside a folder, rmdir to delete a folder, and del to delete a file. Okay, they're the most easiest ones. So I assume that you know how to use them because this is a little bit more advanced. Okay. So first, the first comments that we are going to check are for just help us. Okay. The very first one is get commands with two M's. Okay. It will show us all the commands for PowerShell, the ones that are called CMD-lets, and also functions and aliases. Okay. So if we want to have a list of all the commands, here it is, just with running get command. Next one, it's very useful. Clear host. We have a lot of information here above us, so we want to remove everything and start like a new PowerShell window. So clear host removes everything that we have before. Okay. Or there is another way that, well, there is an alias for clear host that is CLN. It is easier because it's just three letters, right? Another command, start transcript. With this command, we will have everything that is here in the output of the PowerShell exported to a text file, okay? So let's think that we run again get command, okay? And we have also stop transcript. For sure, we need something to stop this logging. So now I'm going to this folder that is documents by default. And here it is. All the information that was on the output is here. So if you need to, retain the information, it is better rather than copy and paste it. Sometimes it's not easy to do this. Okay, I'm going to remove this file. Next command. There are two that are for loops. So I'm going to open Windows PowerShell, but ISE PowerShell. That gives me the opportunity to run commands in a better way. Now, for each and for each object are more or less the same kind of command. However, they have, well, first different syntax and then a different way on how they work inside the code. So it's something that we are not going to appreciate, but inside Windows, there are some kind of differences. Okay. Their purpose is just to perform a loop, perform some actions inside a loop. So let's first try with for each. I have this script where I first run get process and copy all the bulk, all the information inside processes variable. So now this variable has an array of information, and what I perform inside the for each is to copy or bulk the same information line by line into a new variable that is just process, not processes, and run three things. So I put in the first variable phrase the ID of process variable, and then in phrase 2 I put the process name. Okay, and then I write host. So it's just what if I run all this. Okay, what I'm going to see is just ID and process name. So instead of getting all the information, I'm just getting and using the information that I want. Okay, and then this is another way with for each object. So I'm just passing the information of get process inside this for each object loop and just showing the process name. So I run it and yeah, I got only the process name. Next command is export CSV, that is used to, export the information into a CSV file. It is better if the information that you are going to export is is something like a table or something that can be done. Let me just do it on my own machine because I have open office, so I don't know why this is not well copied. So I am doing more or less the same thing as before, but now without any processing, just storing all the information that is in get process into a CSV file. With this delimiter, I changed the delimiter with this parameter. So let's see. Okay, now if I go to ctemp, I got this file. It asks me, oh, sorry. It asks me how to open this file, how to change the separator, and it was detected as the pipe. So, okay, it has all the information of the get process. And if I clicked on OK, I have this CSV file. Remember that a CSV file has no format at all. It only has columns, information in columns. is a table. Okay. If you want to then format this table, then you need to save as a different type of file. Okay, as an Excel or whatever, ODF. It does not matter, but it should be a different format. CSV files is just information separated, no formatting. Okay, next command is out file. In this case, I'm going to run it on this machine that is a domain controller. It doesn't mind if it's a domain controller, if it's, well, most of these commands don't require a specific machine, okay? So I run this, that is dir, to list the folders that are on this folder. And then with out file, I use the output and oh my god, it's not. So there is no folder inside my administrator folder. Yes, it is. Could not find a part of the path dir.txt. Okay, now I see. Sorry. Maybe I could this. I need to create a folder called stem to get this output. Okay, now I got I list the folders that are on the current folder, okay, and then use the output to save it on into a text file. Now, if I open the file, it gives me the same as running the command. So yeah, it's just to export the information into a file. Okay. Next command is format list. It let's try again get process. Okay, that gives me a lot of information into a table. It is formatted as a table, right? So format list can be used to change this format to a list. Format list can be run like, as I mentioned, format dash list, okay? And I got all the information to list. But also it has an alias that is FL, which makes exactly the same, okay? And on the other side, we have format table. So if we have the information as a list and we want it as a table, we have format table with the alias FT. For example, let's see get date that got um, today's day in Spanish. I don't know why it's in English system, but okay. Yeah, I don't know why. So let's see if I do with format table. Okay, it'll be the same format table. Okay, it shows me date, day of the week, day of the year. Yesterday was the 333 day of the year. And yesterday was when I tried this and I was laughing a lot. Someone said that 333 is a bad day or a bad number, sorry. And yeah, it is not so much, but it was, I was laughing. Okay, next one is find str. So I'm going to use another command that I'm going to explain later, okay? Get call fix, that is for giving me information of the last KBs that were installed. But let's say that I am just searching one of them, okay? So with find str, I can just search string, you know, like this. So it the output is just the line that contains the information, the letters that I put after the find str. Okay. Next command that will help us, and is the last one for this specific section, is echo. Echo is just to show whatever I put after the echo. So hi sample, and it prints hi. Okay. It's more or less the same as write host. Okay. It gives me in the output whatever I put after the write host. This is good for scripting because sometimes you can write whatever you want, or maybe the value of a variable, or saying, well, if we have some conditions, well, we stop it here or whatever. Okay. So now we are going to check some other comments that are more informative. They're not very hard, but they're good to know. Okay. First of all, who am I? It gives me the information of, well, which is the user that is running this PowerShell um, window. Okay. Sometimes it will start with the name of the domain. Sometimes it will start with the name of the machine, depending of if the user is a domain user or if it's a local user. Okay. With the same command, I can, for example, run like this. Who am I groups? And it shows me, oh, okay, like this. It shows me in which groups is my current user. Okay. This is good because let's think that you have changed the user's membership you assign to you added to a specific group, and you don't know if it's really at this time on the group, so you will know by this way. Also, if it's in some local groups, it will show up, something that you will not see in the Active Directory console. So okay, next one, host name. Again, a very well, sorry, but okay, let's run again just to, this format is not good. So host name, it gives me the host name's name. Is not so much. It is like the same, like showing here. Mm, I use it a lot because sometimes it's easier to, copy from here rather than, oh, which is the name, and write it down. This is DC1 is easy enough, but in some cases it is a very long name, and I don't want it to copy and maybe to be wrong on some letter. So I use this command a lot. Another command is WinVer that gives me the Windows version. Here there are some information that are interesting enough. First, this is Windows Server 2025. Well, this is an evaluation um, version, okay? And it gives me the version, this case 24H2, and also the build. Okay. I changed my machine just to show you something. So if I run WinRM here, okay, I got this version. This is the Windows Server 2022 version 21H2, and the build is well 2034.8.44 on 5. So I'm going to check this number, the specific number 4405. Sorry. And it gives me this information. The 4405 is from November 2025. So this is the last update that was installed on the machine, the November 11. We can know because this is not any basic update. It's the last cumulative update that is the most important one on a Windows system because it gives us the most important security features that were released. So this was another command, WinRM. Let's see another one. Get hotfix. So here we have the last updates that were installed on the machine. Sometimes it's not easy enough to find them on the internet. Sometimes you will not know which one is the accumulative one, right? 787 in this case is, oh, sorry, is this one. Okay. But sometimes you can install a different update, non-required one, so you will not know, especially if you install many other updates that are optional, you will not know which one is the cumulative. So that is why we use WinRM instead of get hotfix, at least to know that information, okay? But get hotfix gives us more information about other updates that are not the accumulative one. So if I try to find this one, maybe I can find something, maybe not. So it is here, setup dynamic update, and well, all information is here. Great. Next command. Get process. We were using this one a lot, okay? Just as an example. Now we know the command, especially if I sorry, only one C. So it gives us the processes that are running on our machine right now. There is a specific command that is not a CMD-let, it's not for just for PowerShell, can be run on command prompt as well. That is task list. Is similar, okay, but the get process give us more information by default. However, if I run task list /svc, I got information about the services that can run this process, okay? So some cases we can use task list /svc or get process, depending on what we are checking, what we are going to, what we want, okay? Another command, dsreg cmd, and usually with this parameter, status. Okay, from the very beginning, so dsreg cmd/status. First, the machine is HRAD joined or not. In this case, it is not. So it is, but HRAD joined nowadays is called Microsoft Entra-ID joined. Okay. Also, it's not enterprise joined. It is domain joined. It's on premises. This is on premises domain. Okay. The user state NGC set, if we had Windows Style for Business with a certificate, here will show yes, okay. SSO state, it means if we got an HRAD PRT ticket for Microsoft Entra ID, okay. Some more information about diagnosis data, Internet Explorer proxy configuration, some more information. And again, these prerequisites for NGC to use certificates to use Windows 11 for Business, okay? If the user is in HRAD, if the device is joined to Microsoft Entra ID, if there is any certificate enrollment. So, but in this case, this machine is just on premises, so it doesn't have that. It doesn't show anything from Azure. Okay. Next command. The next one is just in CMD. Okay. It is not very common to have a command that is only for command prompt, not for PowerShell. Okay. The command is set and give us information about the environment variables. Okay, this is something that we can see also here, environment variables. Okay, give us some information from these variables. From my point of view, something that is very interesting here is the logon server, because sometimes you don't know which is the domain controller that you were logging. So sometimes you will use this as a check where we were logged, and that's it. Another command is get date. This one will, oh, sorry. No more command prompts. Again, go back to PowerShell, and it gives me the date and time. Nothing more to add. It's just a check to, to, to see if we have the right date. Again, we have it here, but sometimes we will use it for some other purposes like scripting. Okay. I'm going to see some other commands that are for networking. We will check them on the respective section, on the respective video, because we are going to perform another video just for networking. But I think that this command is important enough to run it. Okay, ipconfig, it's very common. It's, well, essential for sure. ipconfig/all give us the information of the IP address of the machine, the subnet mask, the DNS servers that we are using. So yeah, I think that is very, very important. Okay. Um, Another command is test net connection, which has um, an alias of TNC that allow us to test if we have connectivity to another machine. In this case, I don't have any connectivity to nothing, so I'm going to fail any single attempt that I can try. Only if I test connection to myself, I can got a good response. Let's see if run from here. Well, I need more machines to run this. So I'm going to run this. So this will got a good response if I'm not wrong. Oh, okay, ping succeeded, right? But TNC or testnet connection has another a parameter that is very important, that is to check port, for example. Let's see port 45 that is for SMB. It's taking a long time. Okay, succeeded. But what if I try 443? If I'm not wrong, it should be closed. It's closed because I didn't configure the certificate. So yeah, or maybe it is not. No, it's not an IIS server. So yeah, so it is failing. Okay, this is quite common to use. Another command for networking that is very important is resolve DNS name. Well, uh, we can use either TNC or ping. Okay, it is exactly the same. Well, it's not the same because if I'm not wrong, ping goes through ICMP protocol and TNC. If it goes through a different port, it goes with different protocol. So it is another command that can be used in either in PowerShell or in command prompt, but TNC can be only used in PowerShell. Okay. Another important command is resolve slash sorry dash DNS name. That is to resolve DNS names into IP addresses or vice versa. So let's try with PKI. I have host a record that goes through to this IP address. So I have in the forward lookup zone, I have a host record. But what if I try the inverse? I don't have the PTR record, so it will fail. It is not possible to resolve this IP address in my domain. So yeah, DNS server lookup failure. But if I try with my IP address, I should have a PTR. So let's see. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so resolve DNS name is just to resolve names or IP addresses. Okay, it is not the same, but similar to NSLookup. It doesn't use the same technology. Active Directory, for example, uses resolve DNS name as the system. Okay, and NSLookup is not used, so I don't recommend using NSLookup, but it is another command, and it should got more or less the same responses. Okay, so oh no, it should, but it doesn't. Well, the reason of this difference is just that I didn't create a reverse lookup zone. So NSLookup doesn't work as Active Directory works. So that is why the Active Directory is able to resolve the DNS name, the IP address into an DNS name because it's in Active Directory. But the NSLookup that doesn't work as Active Directory isn't able to resolve. And now we're going to check some commands just to open consoles. I will try to spell them, but it's not easy. LUSRMGR. LUSRMGR. I don't know how to spell it. Is to go to local users and groups. Okay, this information is quite useful. This is a domain controller. it doesn't have local users or groups. If I go into my own machine, it has local users and groups. Okay. Okay. Another console. Well, domain controllers don't have local users, but any other member server it has. Okay. It's just domain controllers. Another command for entering a console is appwizz app with. I don't know how to spell it better. It's just to uninstall or change programs. So yeah, it's like going from control panel and uninstall a program. Okay, it's exactly the same, but it's quicker. MMC is to open consoles, so you can add snappings like certificates, for example, for my user account, or Active Directory users and computers. So you can manage from here. Sorry, the users and well, all the domain or the certificates. So you open here more than one snapping, more than one tab. So okay, it's a very useful tool. Another command is regedit to check, edit, or create or delete registry keys. Okay, this was for LDAP client integrity that we were checking in a previous video. Any registry key can be checked here, edited, deleted, created. Okay. So okay, next one, msconfig 32. No, msconfig, sorry. Um, it allows us to change the services that are running on the boot. Also the startup. So in startup, no, open task manager. Just manage startup items. Okay, this changed in the last current versions. So I can enable or disable some tools that when you start Windows, they are going to be running or not. So sometimes you don't want to, oh, I don't want to run Microsoft Teams at the very beginning. It is getting some memory and I'm not going to use it. So it's better to have it disabled. And services is more or less the same, but it's not like, well, it is more or less the same. They are running. Okay. But the other thing is on the here. I don't remember now, but is here like an icon. Okay. The next command is msinfo now 32. msinfo 32. This is very useful because it gives you a lot of information. For example, if we have virtualization based security enabled, like credential guard, also, well, the Windows system, the version, the processor that we are using. If we go here to components, we can see if we have um, any other adapters or components on our machines. Okay. Now we go to use commands for registry. We have rec command. I'm going to run again regedit. Okay. I'm going to services net logon and refresh. These are right now the registry keys that we have in computer, local machine, system, current control set, services net logon. And I'm going to add a new one. Okay, this can be done by GUI, like here, but it can be created from here um, with a command. So it's rec add the path, the type of the registry key, the the name of the registry key, and the value. Okay, I run this. Operation completed successfully. So data should be before depend on service because it's ordered by, and I press F5, and here it is, data with value 4. Okay. Another command for registry keys is query, just to query them to find which are the registry keys right at this moment. I try to copy and paste, but it's not working. Let's try again. Now it is. Now it is. Okay. Query the path and /s. So with /s, it gives me not just the registry keys inside the 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 net logon path, but also the order keys, the order paths, okay, inside net logon. So it's net logon parameters, net logon private. So be careful with this command, because if you run it like query hkey-lm, it will give us all free information from your registry, so it will take a lot of time. Okay. Another command is to delete a registry key. So the one that we have created before, no, it's not copied well. One that we created before, we are going to remove it. So rec delete the path /fee data. Only just the name of the registry key. Now we don't need the type of registry key or the value because we are only removing it, right? It asks us if we want to delete it. Why? Yes. The operation completed successfully. So if I run again the query, now the data that was before I remove it, now it doesn't show up here. And if I go here and press F5, data was removed. Okay. Now we have 3 more commands for registry keys, but these commands can be either used for registry keys, for folders, for certificates, even for AD objects, depending on how we run them. They are get item, get child item, and get item property value. So for example, we are going to start with the very first one, get item. I'm going to just, oh, again, it's not copying well. Get item point, that means the current folder, current location. Well, it gives me just folder name. Then I can try, for example, with certificates. It is not as easy as run one command. So get dash item cert. Well, do this first. Cert OGR. Maybe I don't have any. Oh yes, I have a. Okay, great. I have a user certificate, so I'm going to use it. So for file recovery, it's a self-signed certificate for EFS file encryption. Great. I'm going to copy the thumbprint and put it here. So get item cert 2 points backslash current user backslash my backslash the thumbprint, and then I do this format list. Okay, this is the certificate, right? So this get item can be used either for list folders, list certificates, or for example, if I wanted to check all the certificates, I can run get dash child item. Again, more or less the same theme, cert 2 points backslash. For example, local machine to check certificates for my machine, not for my user. My, if I'm not wrong, maybe I don't have certificates, so I should run with local user, current user, sorry. And here it is. And that was, or if I change my to root, for example, there are more in the root store, the trusted root certification store. Okay. Now for registry keys. I have this command. So it's get item property. If I press on tab, I can change from one to another one. So once I started the command, it is easier to just press tab to fulfill the name. And then the registry key location. Not quite sure if I can run it like this. And for example, description. So I'm going to just find the value of description, registry key. No, it doesn't work like I was thinking. So I need to put in this way, H key LM 2 points, and now it works. Okay. It shows me the same information as here. Okay. This is exactly the same as requery. Okay. Requery, if I yeah, I think that there is one way to just show specific registry key, but okay. Okay, more commands. Now, just for administrative tasks. Following one, I'm going to run it from my own machine and is invoke web request. Okay, invoke web request. I'm going to copy the rest because okay is minus URI the path that the link to the whatever we are going to access or download in this case. And in this case, as it is a download, I'm going to run with out out file parameter and use basic parsing. Oh, sorry. The use basic parsing is part of the out file. Okay. I'm going to run it. And now if I go to this location, yeah, it was not right. Use basic parsing should be, I don't know why it's here. Should be like this. Yeah, now it is. Okay, it was downloaded. Next, to get the security descriptor of any file, we run get ACL. Okay, so file or folder. So if I, for example, want to, but yeah, see 2 points Windows. I got this security descriptor that is not, it doesn't give a lot of information. So I'm going to run it with format list. And now I can see all the information, right? So this is the permissions that are put it on the folder. Okay. So if I click here, properties, security, and if I try to compare, for example, create owner has an allow creator owner for full control. NT authority system has an allow also. NT authority system, and should be this full control. I don't know why it's saying this with numbers either instead of using full control. Okay, this is more common. Maybe I was checking the wrong folder because this is the Windows folder. But it gave us the permissions on the folder. Also, it can be used ICACLS. Let's see. Yeah, it is in a different way. F for full, RX, I suppose it is for, well, I am not going to say something that I am not sure. Written execute, yeah. Users, right, yeah. Administrators, modify M, full control, F, system, M, modify, yeah. So it is a different way to see it, to say it. Also here with the seeds and the permissions, it has a way to check them. Okay. Another command that is quite well known is shutdown. About this command, I want to say something. It is quite useful when you want to reboot the machine that you don't have access to. Okay, you can do these parameters, computer name /t0. So it's just R for reboot, and this is the machine name, and this is the bind up. So it is instant, right? If I try just shut down /R, it is going to shut down the machine in less than a minute. Get variable. This one it's quite good because these are the variables that are now right now on this session. Okay, and their values. I didn't create any specific variable, but let's say that I create dollar Adri equals Adrian. Okay, and run again get variable. Here it is. Adrian, Adrian. Great. And even here, and even here. So yeah, if I want to check the variables for this current PowerShell session, get variable. If I close and run again, get variable, it it was removed. It doesn't show again. The next one is for disks and is CHDSK CHKDSK. Like check disk, but I don't know why they did it so hard because they only removed 3 letters, right? So this is to check disk, and it gives us the health of our disks. Okay. Also, there is another one. I'm not going to use it right now because it's examining. I don't know if it's good to stop this, so I'm going to just leave it running. But I'm going to do it on my own machine. It doesn't mind the next one. That is SPC SFC / scan now. I must be an administrator. Okay. Yeah, it's not a command that is used a lot. I'm wondering if I should do this at this moment. Scan now. So just to check the integrity of our files on our system. So if it finds someone that is corrupt, it is replaced with a new one that is saved on the operative system's image. So that is the reasoning behind this command. Also, it will give us the output, the how it is going, or how many files were wrong, whatever. Okay. Another command, I'm going to open another window here, is import module. Now I have imported Active Directory module on this PowerShell session. The module should be installed prior to being imported. So it is something like I have installed, but I cannot use it if I'm not importing on the session. Okay. I can check also the modules that were installed on my machine with get module, sorry. But also I can run it with list available. See the list of available modules. Let's try, for example, labs. What if I try to import/module labs? Okay, it is imported. So if I run get module, it was imported. Great. But what if I try with a module that is not right here? So for example, Active Directory. Get module Active Directory. If I run again get module, it doesn't show the Active Directory module installed, or at least in the memory. So I cannot run any get AD user, for example. It is not recognized as the name of CMD labs. So I must install the module. I must run install module Active Directory. It requires NuGet provider. I can press yes, but as this is just a test, and this is my own machine, it's not going to be okay. But yeah, in the what I want to show you is just that you can import modules that are on this list of available modules, but if it's not there, you must install it. So these ones are pre-installed. We are going to use another command that is to rename machines. We are going to change this server name. It's called server one. It also has server one host record on Active Directory, on DNS, sorry. But we're going to change it on the machine itself because we want to change it on both sides, on the machine and on Active Directory. So the command itself is rename /computer. Then we need to put new name. In this case, we are going to call it just server. Doesn't mind if it's 1 or 2. My domain credential, that is the name of the domain, the NetBIOS name, / the name of admin user. It can be just a user that has enough permissions on the computer object itself, okay? Just to, rename the machine. It gives me this prompt to introduce the password. And it says the changes will take effect after you restart the computer server one. So now server one will be changed to server. So maybe right now it doesn't show as server. Changes will take effect after you restart the machine, the server. In Active Directory, it is still showing as host server one. This is still, oh no, here it is showing already as server, okay. And if I reboot, I'm going to reboot, the DNS record will change as well. It will take a little bit time, okay. Very impatient. Oh, here it is created again, but I suppose that the other one is going to be removed. Yeah, it's removed. Okay. So first it is created the new one and then the old one is removed. If you do something in the middle, like when we were cloning Pokemon, maybe you will got failure or something that is not wanted. And in my machine, if I go here, it is now named as search. Okay. Now we are going to check some of the last commands. I'm going to go to services just to show you that well, there are services here. And for example, DFS replication, that is DFSR, is running at this moment, which means that I can stop it. At least if I try with a command. Stop slash service DFSR. Okay, it's stopped. It was very direct. Now it's stopped. If I click here or press F5, now it doesn't say running, it's stopped. Okay, I'm going to start it. Now it's running. It's quite easy, right? Or maybe I can use restart service DFSR. So it's stopping and now it's running. Some services will take more time to restart. And maybe some people will be feared if it doesn't start again. These commands can be changed to net start or net stop. Okay, they they do exactly the same. Net stop DFSR. DFSR replication service was stopped successfully. If I press F5, it is stopped, right? And then net start DFSR. The service is started successfully, and is running again. Okay. This machine is not a domain controller, so it doesn't have any DFSR replication group. Okay. I don't recommend stopping the service like I did in a production. It's just whenever it is required. Okay. Also, servers are rebooted and all that stuff, but don't do this in production by this way just for fun. Okay, one more command, run as. So now my user is Adrian. I'm going to run a command as a different user. So as administrator, sorry, user 2 points, the name of the domain, backslash, the name of the user, run CMD, for example. I must introduce the password of administrator, and here it is. And now, who am I? I am administrator. It doesn't mind that in this console I am Adrian, in this one I am administrator. Okay, so I changed the context, the user context. The last series of commands are for execution policies. So the first one, is just to get which execution policies I have. Is just get dash execution policy. And it gives me this information remote signed, which means that I can only run PowerShell scripts that are signed. But when they are remote, okay? So if they are not coming from my machine. So what if I try to run this script that only has a get date and it was created on my own machine, okay? So I'm just running this script.ps1 and it gives me current date in Spanish. Okay, I can try to change my execution policy to all sign, which means that it does not mind if it's a script created on my own machine or on a remote machine. It should be signed. Okay. So if I try to run again, it says, oh, this script cannot be loaded. It's not digitally signed. How we can sign a PowerShell script? Okay, that is another thing. So if I go to my local user certificates, okay, I can check if I have one for code signing. Maybe I should issue one from a certification authority or maybe sub-signed, but it should be for code signing, okay? Better if it's from a certification authority, okay? So with this certificate, I can sign a PowerShell script. I'm going to try it. I can run from PowerShell IC, ISE. I don't know if it's well spelled, sorry. And I have this script that I can run. So here, what I do is go to my current user certificates with get child item that we were checking this command before, and just taking ones that are for code signing certificate. Okay. And then I run this another new command that is set authentication code signature for this file that is in, well, maybe this will fail. I should put all the whole path because I am on a different path right now. And I'm passing the certificate variable, okay? So I'm running this. And now it's completed. It worked. So if I try to, well, first, maybe you have seen this changing from 1 kilobyte to 6. And the reason behind this is that now I have this signature block, which means that, well, the script was signed with this encrypted block. Okay, so what if I try now to run again the script? Yes, well, now it says something that is some kind of a blockage. So it asks me, sorry, if I want to run software from this untrusted publisher. The the reason behind this is because okay, I signed it with a certificate, but this certificate is not trusted, or at least the publisher is not trusted. Okay, so it gives me the possibility to choose. So I can run once with R and it gives me the same output. But first it asks me this. How can I avoid this message? So it should be in a trusted publisher. So here on cert MGR on the certificates for user, I can copy this and paste it on trusted publishers. One thing, I am pasting with the private key. It shouldn't be done by this way, but it is easier for me. Okay, But the way that should be done should be like, export to a file without the private key. That will be the good way. Okay, I will try to run again, script PS1, and then, yeah, now it works fine. Which more execution policies are? So, for example, I have restricted, which means that if I try to run again, it does not mind. It cannot be loaded because running scripts is disabled on this system. Great. So that is another security feature that we can put it. And then we have two more execution policies that are bypass and unrestricted, which are more or less the same. Bypass is worse from security perspective, but you can run whatever. It does not mind if it's not signed. It does not mind if it comes from remote computers. It will work anyway. So if I try to, change my script again, and well, now it's with the signature block, but I can remove it. I can save this file. I can run it again. It will work because with bypass execution policy, it will work always. Okay. Well, with the execution policy, I can check that I am with bypass. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I know that there are some comments that are missing here. However, in the following videos, we will cover topics like PKI, networking, and their commands. So let's wait for them. One more thing. There is one comment on this video where I post my LinkedIn profile with an article with all these comments in clear text. So I hope that this can help you on, copy and paste. See you in next videos. Bye bye.